Hello everyone, and welcome to the Modern Java course. This time I will discuss a few small improvements to the Java language, specifically TextBlocks, new instance of, and the var keyword. These are great additions that make our day-to-day lives so much simpler. Before I proceed, as usual, the code for this and the other videos in the series is available on my GitHub page. So check out this project, start it, and follow me on GitHub. The instance of keyword is annoying. It's boilerplate and duplicates with the cast. This might not seem obvious if you're used to Java. You might incorrectly assume that this is just type safety, but it isn't. This is pretty standard Java code and might not seem problematic at first. We might even shorten it a bit, but ultimately we'd still need to cast, and in many cases create a new variable within the instance of block. Why? Since we know the type after the instance of statement, it is very likely that we will want a variable with that type. We just add the pre-assigned variable to the statement and it gets created in the scope. This is perfect and simple. It's one of those small changes that make our lives easier with no downsides. I love it. Developers who come to Java from text processing languages often find the strings painful. Java inherited a lot of its string syntax and sensibilities from C, and the result is verbose, especially when we need to represent a large block of text. This is standard Java code that generates HTML. Yes, normally we would use constants, but the concept still stands. We write a lot of quotes and need to escape strings. This is unpleasant and verbose. TextBlocks let us start and end with 3 double quotes. This code will produce a string identical to the one in the previous example. Notice that the quotes mark the whitespace column. All the whitespace here is ignored and won't be part of the string. All the whitespace following the quotes is a part of the string. Notice we don't need to use /n to represent a new line. This is implicit. Notice we don't need to escape the double quotes. They are escaped by default. We use string formatting to set the values of entries instead of the plus sign. This means we can define this string as a constant and further simplify the code. The var keyword can reduce some of the redundant boilerplate in Java variable declaration. The var keyword can't be used for fields in parameters and can't be used in cases where ambiguity exists. It only makes sense when the compiler can determine the type. It can work with primitives and will serve as a primitive when used in that way. The type of the field is implied by the value on the right-hand side. If we don't have an assignment in the same line as the var declaration, this becomes a problem. Var isn't a regular keyword, it's a contextual keyword. That means it only applies if there's a variable declaration and assignment. That means that this code is 100% legal, and we can declare a variable called var. That isn't pretty, but it works. The complex declarations are where var is supposed to give the most benefit. All the long generic declarations. But it isn't so simple. The second statement won't work since the generic value of the string is missing. The var will have no idea what the type we want. The last line shows what we can't use, that we can't use the diamond operator with var. However, there's another pitfall. var doesn't know about the list interface, so what we wrote in the last line is the equivalent to array list of strings. This might be okay, but it does break the concept of coding to an interface, which is an important concept in Java. This is something to keep in mind when using that keyword. Because of those, I'm not as excited by the var keyword, but I do use it on occasion. I love both of the other features mentioned here. In the next video, we will discuss records and record pattern matching. Follow through the videos to check out the full course. If you have any questions, please use the comment section. Thank you.